They say when you hit an animal on the road, you feel it. The thud, the sickening crunch beneath the tires, it stays with you. But what I ran over that night, it wasn't an animal. It wasn't anything I should have been able to hit and live to tell about. It was just past midnight. I was driving home from a late shift, a 2-hour stretch of highway cutting through forests and farmland. The road was empty, not a single pair of headlights in sight, the kind of silence that makes you aware of your own heartbeat. My eyes were heavy, and the only sound was the low hum of the engine, the tires whispering against the asphalt. That's when it happened. Something darted across the road, faster than I could comprehend. Not deer, not a stray dog, it wrong, tall, too tall. Its arms seemed to drag along the ground as it moved. My reflexes kicked in, but not fast enough. The car jolted, the front bumper dipped, and I felt the impossible, a body rolling under the chassis. The sound it made wasn't flesh and bone. It was wet, but also brittle, like snapping branches submerged in mud. My stomach turned instantly. I slammed on the brakes, the car fishtailing on the damp asphalt before grinding to a stop. For a moment, all I could do was grip the steering wheel and breathe. My pulse pounded in my ears. I told myself it had to be an animal. Maybe a moose, maybe something big. I had to check. I couldn't just leave it there. The night outside pressed against the windshield like a living thing. I grabbed my flashlight from the glove box, forcing myself out into the cold air. The forest on either side of the road seemed to lean closer, heavy branches bowing under the weight of shadows. I walked toward the back of the car, the beam of light trembling in my hand. My breath fogged in the air, far thicker than it should have been for the mild weather. And then I saw it. Not blood, not fur. What trailed behind my car was black sludge, thick, tar-like, glistening under the beam of the flashlight. It reeked not of decay or animal musk, but something chemical, burnt metal and sulfur. The smell clawed at my throat, making me gag. The thing I hit wasn't lying broken on the asphalt. There was no body, just drag marks, long grooves in the road, leading away from the car, back into the forest. I froze, every nerve in my body screaming to run, but my feet stayed planted. The drag marks weren't random. They were deliberate, like it had gotten up, like it wanted me to follow. And then I heard it. From the tree line, low, ragged breathing. Too heavy, too deep to belong to anything human. I should have gotten back in the car. I should have driven until the gas tank ran dry and never looked back. But I didn't. Curiosity, fear, whatever it was, held me there, flashlight shaking in my hand as I stared at those drag marks disappearing into the tree line. The breathing grew louder, ragged, uneven, like lungs not made for this world. And then, silence. I swept the light across the forest edge. Trees, shrubs, nothing else. My chest tightened, each second stretching into eternity. Then, with a sickening realization, I saw the grooves in the dirt didn't end in the forest. They doubled back toward the road, toward me. My heart stopped. I spun around, light flashing across the pavement, and that's when I saw it. It was standing in the middle of the road, no more than 30 feet from my car. Tall, too tall, its limbs grotesquely long, dangling like broken marionette strings. Its skin wasn't skin at all. It rippled, wet and sinewy, like something freshly peeled. And its eyes, God, its eyes. Two pale orbs glowing faintly in the dark, fixed on me with an intelligence that made my blood run cold. I staggered backward, nearly dropping the flashlight. The beam passed over its mouth, stretched impossibly wide, teeth jagged and mismatched like shards of glass shoved into rotting gums. And it was smiling. The thing tilted its head, studying me. Then, without a sound, it crouched low, its arms splayed on the pavement like some obscene spider. My body screamed to run, but I knew turning my back meant death. So I bolted for the car, keeping my eyes locked on it as long as I could. My fingers fumbled on the handle, slick with sweat. When I finally yanked the door open and dove inside, the creature moved. Not ran, not walked. It lurched. One moment it was crouched, the next it was halfway down the road, body jerking unnaturally, like it skipped frames in reality. My scream tore out as I slammed the locks and started the engine. Headlights burst to life, flooding the road in pale yellow. And there it was, inches from the bumper, staring directly into the light. Its grin stretched even wider, splitting skin at the corners until dark fluid dripped down its chin. I slammed my foot on the gas. The tires squealed, the car shot forward, and I hit it a second time. But this wasn't like before. There was no thud, no crunch. The car passed through it as if it were smoke made solid. The engine roared, but my stomach sank with the realization. It let me go. In the rearview mirror, I saw it standing in the glow of my taillights, watching me drive away. Not chasing, just watching. And then I heard it, not behind me, not in the woods, from inside the car. A wet, rasping breath coming from the back seat. I froze. My hands clenched the steering wheel so tight my knuckles cracked, but I didn't dare turn around. The sound was unmistakable. Wet, labored breathing, inches from the back of my head. I tried to convince myself it was in my mind, just the echo of panic. But then the smell hit me. Rot, sweet, cloying like meat left to fester in the summer sun. It filled the car, thick and undeniable. My stomach lurched, bile burning my throat. I couldn't ignore it anymore. With trembling hands, I angled the rearview mirror. At first, nothing, just the empty back seat. Relief washed over me, too soon, because then the leather shifted, slowly, as if something unseen pressed against it from underneath, and rising from that shadow, its face appeared. Those pale, glowing eyes met mine in the mirror, unblinking, grinning wide enough that the skin at the corners tore further, peeling into a grotesque rictus. Its teeth gleamed wet in the dim glow of the dashboard. I screamed and swerved violently, the car fishtailing on the desolate road. The headlights caught glimpses of trees whipping past, the world spinning, before I wrestled control back. My chest heaved, tears stinging my eyes, but when I dared look in the mirror again, the back seat was empty. I was alone, or so I thought. The radio crackled on by itself. No music, just static at first, then a distorted voice bleeding through, a voice that wasn't human. It rasped my name, slowly, as if savoring it. The car felt smaller by the second, the air heavy, suffocating. I pressed harder on the accelerator, desperate to put distance between me and whatever this was. The speedometer climbed, 80, 90, but the road ahead seemed endless. And then I saw it again. Not behind me, not inside. Ahead. The creature stood in the middle of the road, impossibly far, yet with every blink it was closer. 30 feet, 10, until suddenly there was no road at all, only it. I jerked the wheel, too late. The car plowed through the figure, the world turning upside down as metal shrieked and glass exploded. The crash slammed me into blackness. When I woke, silence. Cold night air pouring through shattered windows. The car was wrecked, hood buried in a ditch. My body screamed with pain, but worse was the stillness around me. No crickets, no wind, just that smell again. I forced myself upright, vision swimming, and then I saw them. Dozens of pale eyes glowing faintly in the tree line, watching. Dozens of smiles sharp and waiting. Because what I hit that night wasn't alone. It never was. And as I sit here broken, bleeding, I realize the truth. It didn't try to kill me. It wanted me alive. For them.